Hi everyone, this is Ashwini. Welcome to CKA's at Hands-On channel. The purpose of my channel is to get people who want to give to CKA 2025 exam get started on their hands-on practicing journey once they finish the formal course of CKA and have a basic understanding of Kubernetes concepts. This creates a depth in your understanding of each concept and helps you crack CKA exam. Today's video is about restoring ETCD from a backup that we have taken. This is a video in cluster architecture, installation and maintenance, which constitutes 25% of CKA exam. So let's quickly get started. I want to quickly check if my control plane is ready and my etcd is running fine. K get ports -n cube system grep etcd. So etcd is running fine, and I quickly want to check what are the options it's running with. And yeah, this is our etcd process, and what I'm interested in checking the data directory, which is correct. You don't have to know all these things. It's what will be existing in it's the existing configuration, so you don't need to know anything about it. I'm just checking so that I'm not doing anything, I'm not disturbing anything that's there. What I want to do is I want to remove the backups that I have earlier taken. So I need to do this with sudo, otherwise it will not let me delete. It's always a db. You don't need to do this in the exam. This is something that I'm just cleaning up my environment before I can take the backup. So we have already seen this before. I'm just copying the backup command from the documentation. So we need to do it with the certificates. So I'm just copy pasting it. Now we need to just fill the CA cert and key files, and then we need to specify a location for your backup, and you have to run it with sudo. We are taking the backup now. Before taking the backup, so we need to do one more thing. You don't have to do this in your exam. So what is happening here is it's not able to create the pod. I want to create at least one pod before we take up the backup so that I can show after restoration that it is still there. So if we describe the node and grep taint, so there's only one node in my cluster, which is my control plane node, and if I do taint, this is my taint. So I have to taint this, remove the taint from this, so which is this, taint node, copy, paste, and then the node is control plane, and this is the taint, and copy paste. And since we are removing it, we put a minus, so now that is untainted. Now if I do get ports, I think it should be creating now. Okay. Yeah, I think the image name was wrong. Now I've got a test pod that is running, right? Just want to have at least one pod running before I take the snapshot. Now this is how you take the snapshot. I'm copy pasting the command. Now you get all these values from your static pod etcd configuration that is in etc kubernetes manifest. So how you can do is cat etc kubernetes manifest etcd etcd.yaml and grep for these values. So we'll go in the order. No, I don't. So this is the value you need to search for. Copy and paste. So control A, sudo. So whenever you get a permission denied, just to add a sudo at the thing. Now that is the CA. Now the key file, and then so the next is actually cert file. Let's get the cert file. And the key file. So now I'm going to do a sudo. So let's go backwards. I'm going to save it as opt etcd underscore snapshot.db, and for the key file, this is our key file. And then the cert file is this server.cert. And then we have the CA file. This is the trusted CA file. Cool. And that should save our okay. This is wrong. My cert is wrong. Cert file is server.cert, so I have not pasted it correctly. So if you don't give correct values, you'll get errors, and you may be able to correct it. Okay, now it has saved here. Now before we take the restoration, we do the restoration. I want to restore etcd. This is backup. Now we are doing a restoration. We're not using etcd-utl. We're using still etcd-ctl, which is slated for removal from 3.6, but it still works on my thing, and I think you should still be able to use etcd-ctl in the exam. And this is also the same. You give what it says is you have to give a new directory location, and if you're not giving, then you have to follow up certain procedure. But what we're doing today is we'll give a new directory location. That's how I want to do it, because if for some reason the restored one is not working, we can switch back to the old directory. So I generally it's like, for me it's like a safe practice. I don't try to overwrite the existing directory. So give a new directory, and there's other process which I'll show you what you need to do, how to do the restoration. But what I want to do is now I have taken the backup. Now I'm deleting the pod. Right now the cluster at this state, it doesn't have that pod, but when I try to restore from the backup, it should still have that pod, right? Let's see if that works after we do the restoration. Our restoring is also the same, but one of the things that's mentioned is you have to it's better to restart all the cluster components and also ETCD and also the kubelet when you do the restoration. So you stop all the API server instances, restore state in all ETCD, and then restart all API server instances. So one way to do that is move all your etc kubernetes manifest, all your YAML file to temp. We generally have controller, scheduler, API, and the ETCD. So we're moving all of them. Okay. So when you get a permission, just do a thing. Now, if I give etcd.yaml first, we'll restore it, and then we'll need to update the configuration with the new ones. Okay, so what I'm doing is this. So it says etcd.ctl. You need to export the API and run it as sudo, and the data directory, specify new data directory is snapshot restore and snapshot.db. Now I'm just going to put it in my editor before I do it, because I don't want to do that all that again. I'm going to copy it to my editor and use the same values, except it will be restore, and we also have to so I'm just doing exporting the API, and now also so etcd.ctl endpoint is the same, csert cert key, and the data directory is wherever new data directory that you want to specify. My current etcd directory is etcd. Now I'm writing it to a new one, and I'm restoring it from not snapshot db. It's opt etcd snapshot.db. Okay, this is our current one. Remember that we have moved all the manifests before and we're trying to restore the thing. Okay, there is an etcd backup that already exists. I am going to remove it. Oh my god, my copy paste game is amazing today. Okay, now I'm just running I've removed the old backup, the directory that already exists. Remember that the data directory should not exist, should be a new directory, and don't create any directories, it will create by itself. So let's run the restore now. So now it has restored. Now we need to start, we need to edit our etcd configuration to point it to the new data directory. So remember we have moved our etcd to temp. So I'm going to modify the configuration. And look for anything that has got the current data directory, and I'm going to there will be 3 places where you need to, one is the data directory command itself, and your volume mounts, and there's a volumes in the host path for etcd data. So 3 places we have already changed it to the new backup directory where we have restored our from the backup. Okay, now I'm going to save it. Now I'm going to copy all the YAML file back to, remember we have not just moved so not just etcd but all API server, scheduler and configuration controller manifest as well. So I'm copying all of them back along with the modified etcd.yaml which is pointing to the new data directory. So let's move it back and just run it with sudo. Okay, that's running now. And also systemctl restart kubelet. So okay, now that's working. ps-ef grep etcd. I just want to show. Yeah, so if you see the process, the new etcd is now running at the data directory etcd underscore backup. In the beginning of the video, it is running as etcd, just as etcd. Now this is what I wanted to show, how the restoration is working. Remember we have removed our pod test. Now after the pod was already running when we have taken the backup, and after we have taken the backup we have actually removed the pod. So if the data directory was still pointing to etcd, that is the existing one, then if I do a get pods, I will not have any pods because in that cluster in etcd I have removed it. But because we have restored it from the backup, which had the state of the pod still running, we're able to restore it to a snapshot back in time where we had like the desired state. This is how we can do backup and restoration of etcd. If you think my videos are helpful, please do subscribe to my channel. Also, do like and share as well. If you have any feedback, please let me know in the comments. I will see you. There's no KillerCoda link. I would suggest you to create a lab environment of your own and practice this restoration, because it's important to practice it before you appear for the exam, because there's quite a lot of commands as I have shown. It's better to practice as much as you can, and I'll be providing the documentation link in the description, and also all the links for all my playlists. The current playlist is cluster architecture, installation, and maintenance. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, happy learning. Bye.